Hi, this is Dr. Kathleen Hallinan, and we are continuing our weight loss vlog. I would encourage you to share these with anybody that you think would find them helpful. We're trying to get to as many people, I am trying to get to as many people as I can, because oftentimes the medical community is not really embracing things that are useful to help with weight loss. And just recently, the American Academy of Family Practice came out with a consensus statement that really just only promoted diet and exercise and pretty much put as very secondary, far secondary, the options of weight loss medication and bariatric surgery. And so I find that, and these topics I've covered in other videos. So please feel free to share these with other people. We're going to talk today about depression and weight gain, depression and obesity, basically. So this is a common chicken or the egg phenomenon. Quite often people gain weight and then they get depressed because they've gained weight. Conversely, very often people who are depressed to start with often get put on antidepressants that then cause them to gain weight. Now they're more depressed. And in the fact of being depressed, it makes it much harder for you to motivate yourself to get out, to exercise, or to eat right, because you want to have comfort foods. You want that dopamine surge to make you feel better. And I want you to draw your attention to the fact that dopamine is the neurotransmitter in your brain that makes you feel better. And start paying attention to when you do things, if you're depressed and have a problem with your weight, that pay attention to what things you start to do to make yourself feel not depressed, because often if they are unhealthy for you, you're doing it because you're trying to like rev up this dopamine, and you'll start to associate if you come home from work and you feel down and you're upset and everything is stressful and you're depressed, you're going to want to make yourself feel good. So you sit down with a bowl of nachos and cheese dip and a beer, and after that you feel much better. Well, okay, so yes, you may feel better, but it's for very short term and it comes at a huge cost. You may already be on diabetes medications, blood pressure medications. You may have already had your heart attack or your stent placed or whatnot. So while these things make you feel better, it occurs for a very short time. Always remember that these things that are like comfort foods, you want a big bowl of, Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Well, that's going to make you feel better for about maybe, 20 minutes or so, half an hour, and then you're going to feel again. So remember that the gratification is short. It is powerful. Dopamine is a powerful neurotransmitter. Do not underestimate its influence on your decisions, because if you do that, if you get into that habit, the next time you go to the store, you will pass by the ice cream cooler and you'll be like, oh, that made me feel better, and then you'll buy it again. So pay close attention. I'm going to teach you a few strategies about what to do if you are struggling with depression and obesity. So one thing is, here we have the board. Fix the meds. So fix your medications. Oftentimes weight gain is caused by medications for depression. So if you're on medications that cause weight gain, talk to your physician or your provider or your psychiatrist and see if they can change them or tweak them to antidepressants that don't cause as much weight gain. Wellbutrin is a good antidepressant. It helps with motivation. It's actually in some of the weight loss medications that we use, and if you don't have any trouble taking it, it works very well. Some medications that are just the serotonin agents, like Lexapro, don't tend to cause as much weight gain as some of the others, like the Prozac, Paxil, Zoloft bunch. So see if you can swap to a different one, and sometimes you have to use like half of one and half of another, so you could do like half of a Lexapro and a small dose of Wellbutrin together. Sometimes you can combine modalities. You have to see what works best for you. This is a black box, we don't have a blood test yet to tell which antidepressant is going to work the best for you. And then do not be afraid to have some dialogue with someone about weight loss medications. A lot of people, if they have abuse histories, they comfort eat, they perseverate on food. It is like an addiction. Medications like phentermine and topiramate, Wellbutrin, and naloxone, these are medications that are used also in combinations as Contrave and Qsymia. Those are the brand names. These are all medications that help like blunt the thoughts about the food. So I have had people, and they come in, they have an abuse history, and they comfort eat, and they wake up thinking about food. And I don't tell them to anticipate this, but you put them on a low dose of phentermine, and they will come back and say, I don't think about food all the time anymore. I mean, I look at my watch and go, oh, it's noon, I have to eat. So don't underestimate that these are very useful medications, especially if you really are using food to kind of self-treat your depression. Because it's very difficult to break that chain, that cycle. But once you do, then you start having success, and then you feel better and you feel more motivated, and the depression starts to get better because you feel like you're having success. So some of the rest of this, negotiate with yourself, bargain with yourself about the comfort foods. If you drink soda all the time, that's your comfort food, and you have ice cream and that's your comfort food, then bargain with yourself. Say, I'm not going to have those, and there's something that I really want to do that's hopefully not, something that would cause you to gain weight. I've been wanting to, I don't know, go to see this something or another. Negotiate with yourself. Get rid of the addicting stuff and then go do something that you really have been wanting to do. So that's, you have to kind of make little deals with yourself. But then it's more powerful. 10 minutes of exercise. You have to really exercise when you don't want to exercise, so make it 10 minutes. You can do 10 minutes even if you don't want to go exercise. So make that marker in your day. It's a place setter. It starts to build a new habit, and you may find after a while that then you do 15 minutes, and then you do 20 minutes. But don't start there because that will seem unattainable. Start with a goal that you know you can do. Anybody can do 10 minutes of exercise even when they're feeling crappy. So tell yourself, I'm just going to do 10 minutes on whatever it is. So you're going to do 10 minutes of your workout video, or 10 minutes on the treadmill, or I'm going to do 10 minutes of, burpees and sit-ups, or whatever you want. But pick something, do it for 10 minutes, and then say, okay, I did it. And you can stop. You have the option of stopping there, or you could keep going if you feel better. And lots of times you will feel better, so pay attention to that too. A lot of people, you'll talk to them who are like exercise freaks and stuff, and they know that even like in Runner's World magazine, they have articles that say, a lot of people will exercise only because they know they feel better at the end, so not because they really feel like getting out of bed at 5 in the morning. So this sounds a little more foofy perhaps, but I want you to pay attention to just finding some purpose in your day. This is a very powerful tool for combating depression and feeling down. Is if you can find some small thing in your day that you can help someone else. It can be the tiniest thing, but maybe even the cashier when you go through the checkout counter seems to be not having a good day. You're going to make their day better, make them laugh, do something positive for someone else somewhere in your day, and focus on those moments where you may help someone else. That's a very powerful thing to bring people up out of feeling depressed. So I hope those have been helpful. Please share this if you find these helpful, or if you think anyone can use them. We're now, I think, 34 videos in, so please don't forget there are a bunch of old ones. If anybody has questions, go back and look at the topics we've done on the old ones. Okay? All right. You guys are doing great. Thank you for your comments and your good questions, and you're doing great. Thanks. Bye.